Hey there, Austin here, and as promised, we're going to be doing some benchmarks today, namely on Heaven and Firestrike. But before we get started, probably better introduce you to the entire system and what's inside it. So the Enforcer, as it will now be known from now on, is rocking the i7 7700K overclocked to 4.9 gigahertz. Got two EVGA GTX 1080 Ti's in SLI with a high bandwidth bridge by EVGA also. They're both overclocked to 2012. I've got 64 gigabytes of Dominator Platinum RAM by Corsair. GDR4 obviously. I haven't got that overclocked actually. I've got that running at 2133 I do believe. So you know, you can munt me if you like. And I've got four 1 terabyte Evo 850 SSDs by Samsung and a 4 terabyte 7200 RPM by Seagate for storage. All the programs run off of the SSDs, and general storage videos and all that kind of stuff when I'm doing my editing all comes off of the mechanical hard drive. The Windows 10 64-bit is running from an NVMe SSD off of the 250 gig off of the motherboard, which is an Asus Maximus 9 Formula, which is obviously a Z270 platform. I don't think there's anything else other than the fact that obviously there's an EK water loop in there, keeping the whole thing cool because because I wanted to. Anyway, let's go. So here you can see on the screen, in the top left, I've got CPU-Z running. It's the latest version, and you can see that the clock setting is set at a 48 multiplier, so it's running at 4.9 gigahertz, even with a 48 multiplier set. I'm not quite sure why that is, but it is running at 4.9. That's what I've got running, so it's a fairly mild overclock. I have got it up to 5.1, stable most of the time, but not consistently enough. 5, I got a fairly good overclock. But again, it was stable enough, but not again consistently. But 4.9, everything worked every time, and I ran tests multiple times. So I preferred to keep it on the 4.9. It's fairly mild compared to what some people are doing, especially as I've got a fully cooled water system now. But it's good enough for me. You can see again, I've got not only CPU-Z, but I've got the ROG panel up, which is AI Suite 3, and you can see down in the bottom right, I don't know why I'm pointing at it, but you can see at the bottom left hand side of that window 4.9 or 4943, so it's just under. If it was 495 something or other, I would have been happy to call this a 5 gig overclock, but this is no, it's a 4.9 overclock. You can see the temperature at this particular moment with the programs open. I haven't got the fans going at all, and it's idling around the between 40 and 50 mark, which is fairly high. But then considering I haven't got the fans going, that's not too bad. So I'm gonna put that in standard mode. Anyway, just to bring that up. There you go. So the fans are on. I don't mind fan noise. It doesn't bother me, to be honest. And I have been running the system for a while, so there's a bit of heat built up in the system. I've also got Precision X. These are all the latest versions. I've got all the latest versions of software, etc. And I've even got the Microsoft Fall Creators update. And much as that might be quite horrible, running as well, just literally installed that. So whether there's going to be any stability issues now because of that, I don't know. The GPUs I've got again overclocked. You can see my my Precision X settings that I've overclocked to here. Each one of those has gone, although you can press default, that's the default setting, and then each one of those has got a slightly, so that's the default setting as you can see there. Then on number 2, that's my first overclocking setting that I tried. I've tried a few higher ones, but then I've lowered them as I've gone. This one was also stable. So this one gave me a just under 2000 clock. This one gave me a dead on 2000 clock. And this one seems to give me a good stable 2012. I have got a 2050 clock before that seemed pretty stable, but then I'd turn the machine on again a while, you know, a little bit later, and it just wasn't quite stable enough. So 2012 at the moment is where I'm at. So that's where I'm going to keep these settings for now. And I'm running Unigine Heaven to start with. Now, obviously, I'm on SLI mode, which, to be honest, this doesn't really, on DX11, isn't really taking much advantage of it. But if I go ahead and start up Unigine so you can see it. So you can see where we're at. We're at 2012. If I flick you to that as well, again you can see on Precision X we're showing 2012. The memory clock is obviously up on the multiplier. I've done it by 30 offset, so we'll see how that goes. But you can see up here where they are. It seems to be matching up with what Precision X is saying, and you can see at the moment GPU 1 temperature 34 degrees, GPU 2 temperature at 30 degrees. So we're running in SLI, and you can see where our frames per second are, and obviously at the top right you've got what Unigine is also showing up. If I go on to not this screen but this screen, you can see where the temperature of the CPU is at the moment. It's under 62. Again, the fans are still on standard mode, so they're not really doing a huge amount at the moment. So there we go. Seems to be running. That's running fairly stably. Quite happy with that. So let's bump this into benchmark mode and see if we can have an epic fail. Might be able to have an epic fail. We'll see and see. Who knows how long this will go for? But what I'm going to do, yeah, well, we'll skip to the end and we'll see how that goes. But I will tell you if it crashes or not. I'm just in the middle of the benchmarking and thought I probably haven't said anything to you about like the main temperatures or anything like that. So while that's kind of in the background going, I'm just going to slip over to here and just show you over here. You can see on Precision X that the GPU temp, as it's showing on the benchmark here at 36, 35 and 32 degrees. Go back, you can see the GPU temp for GPU 1 is 36 degrees, but you can see that the power temperature and the memory temperature 41 and 39, because obviously these being the FW3s have got the ICX cooling technology. Well, they haven't got the cooling anymore because I've ripped those triple shrouded fans off, so obviously now being cooled by the EK water block is just, you know, cooling those down so much more. And obviously they've got the 9 sensors on there or whatever it is, so you can check those temperatures just way better. So right, okay, so the score's up. It's not really particularly high, but it might be because I'm running these other programs, I don't know. So that's where we're at, and that's with SLI. To be honest, half the time you get a better score without SLI, to be honest with you. So and you can see my settings there, you know. Feel free to say, oh, I've got a higher score with less and all that. Well, that's great. I don't really know what I'm doing. This is the first kind of gaming computer like this that I've actually ever had. So, you know, in this sense, you know, to be honest with you, you know, it's all quite new to me. So, yeah. So, you know, feel free to show me what you guys have been doing. Right. So what we're going to do? Let's get rid of this now, and let's try something else, shall we? Okay, so we are gonna do the usual here. We're gonna do Firestrike. Now we would like to do it in windowed mode, ideally. As using 1080p, so let's see if we can find a windowed mode option. Blah 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 blah. Resolution da da da. I don't see windowed mode. This is not got a windowed mode.
That's rather irritating. Enable window mode.
Right, I've got glasses and I can't see what I'm doing. You know that really, that doesn't pose well, does it? Really, it doesn't bode very well at all. You know, so yeah, so okay, so we're in windowed mode, and excuse the down the thing there. Anyway, okay, so window mode. Okay, let's run this, shall we, and see what happens. Got the same settings as I had before, so hopefully let's got the same settings, so let's have a look. So Firestrike being one of the ones that most people like to run, so you can see where my temperatures are at the moment. So here we are. Okay, so just loading. Let's put that screen on. There we go. Okay, how are we doing? Still loading. There we go. Boosh. I mean, this is running in a scaled mode, so I haven't got it running in 1080. I've actually got it running in 1440, which is the but on a 1080 screen. So you're seeing part of it cut off there, which is rather irritating. Can I do that? There you go. Not the best thing to do while in the middle of doing a benchmark. There you go. Let's try that now. It'll probably completely gnaws it all up. So you can see that the GPU temperature, again, 29 and 24. Well, that's obviously why it's not running. So obviously during this graphics test, we shall see. So we are hitting good frame rates there. Although it says it's running at 60 frames a second, it seems to be kind of capping there. Obviously the I don't know what that FPS counter on 3D Mark's doing. So it's bouncing up to like the low 160s, and stuff. So there you go, 143. So it's Precision X has caught up. There you go. Thank you, Precision X. So temperature 35 degrees. Processor's currently at 62 degrees. This is with a standard the sort of turbo mode on the fans now, so they are ramping up. Physics test. Oh, here we go. This should be interesting. So all on the CPU. So where we got a 30. Now, here's the difference. This is running around the 30 frame mark. This is actually running between 40 and 50 frames a second. When I haven't got all these other programs on OBS and all that running it in full screen mode. So there's a slight dip in performance running this, and obviously I don't know if there's a dip in performance when I'm running 3 screens, even if the other 2 screens are just showing desktop. I don't know if there's a dip in that one or not. I have no idea. Feel free to let me know in the comments, because it helps. It helped me. And obviously with the way that I've got my overclock set and my offsets, memory, and all that on the GPU and all of that, feel free to say, actually, if you do this, you might get better scores. I want to make my system run as best I can. All I'm doing is just showing you this is where I'm at as a beginner. I'm an enthusiast, but I'm a beginner. So I'm a enthusiast. Or and then thinger. I don't know which one you. just don't go there. It's just stupid. It's just not right. So here we go. So validated score. Blah blah. Custom benchmark settings. Did I get no score? Hello? They didn't put the score up. Did I get no score? Well, graphics score got 27,911. Physics I got 9,864 and a combined of 58,47. But it did not give me a score. It says please no G-Sync, blah 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 blah. Right, well, hello? There's no overall score when using custom benchmark. No, I didn't know that. No. just because I had the windowed mode and moved things around. Okay, I'm going to do it again, and then we'll come back with what the score would be. Okay, so we're back, and there you go. That's a little bit of a better score. Well, it's a score because the last time, obviously, it didn't score. I will say that the overclock of 2012 that I had, I decided to fail a few times. So I bumped it down to the 2000 overclock that I put on the card. So there you go. Well, that's another little test. I could probably bump it up a little bit from there, but I'm going to stick at the 2. It's an overclock. It's a mild overclock again, but then both GPUs are already factory overclocked anyway. So yeah, but again, any settings, anything you want to tell me, comments be great. So there's our score, 28,541 with the graphics score of 53,132. Physics score of 15,336. That's a little bit better than the last one, and a combined score of 89,77. So that isn't all bad. I'm gonna save that. I have a little folder, but for some reason normally there's other benchmark scores in here, but there don't seem to be any in the folder for some reason. So Firestrike, I like to put in as much as we put in there. So I've got 2 GPU, and we got them at the settings that we used were 117, 90 degrees with a, I think it's a 75, a 30, I want to say a 30. I'm probably going to have to open up Precision X, which takes forever to open for some reason. I think I've got it as a 75 40. It's 75 40 or 75 35. I'm going to put 75 40. And then CPU 49. So there we go. So we've got, no, it's not 75, it's 70 40 overclock, just so we know. Okay, we compare scores online, which is always fun. I mean, I'm never in there, you know, top 99% or blah blah blah. Of course, it just gets a little thing. But I always find it funny when you go into the Hall of Fame. Okay, and we go, you know, Firestrike. Where's Firestrike? Time Strike, Firestrike. I haven't got my glasses on. That's why I can't see anything. I can't even see you guys. But I don't think glasses will help that. So, okay, so there, Firestrike in there. I mean, what have I got? So, yeah. So obviously, my score of 28,541. Although that was with 2 GPUs. So obviously, if I put that on 2 GPUs here, these look. I mean, look at that. Wow. Kingpin's not in the top 10. Wow, okay. Where is he? Either my eyes are really bad or he not even in the top 30. Wow, that was unexpected. I mean, look, top 100, lowest is 34,237, and I got a 28,541. So, yeah, that ain't gonna happen. Yeah, I mean, look at these guys. I mean, right, these guys have got 1080 Ti's. Pascal, they've got 1080 Ti's, but they're 7980 XE. You know, these are the new platform i7s and i9s. You know, so you know we've got more than 4 cores, 8 threads, and that's all I'm using is 4 core, 8 threads. So, you know, they're gonna be a bit better. Although it doesn't say, you know, it probably doesn't say how they are cooling. You know, is it a water cooler? Doesn't say. But look, CPU clock speed 3200, and I'm running at 4.9. But that's 3200. However many, look, over 8 cores. So, yeah, not. It's not going to happen for me. I'll never make it onto those scores, those kind of scoreboards. But anyway, there you go. So that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed that. Any questions? Want to see anything else? Want to see me run anything else? Because I'm not going to do a ton of benchmarks. I haven't got time for all that. But if you want to see anything else, you know, how it's running, what kind of FPS I'm getting, etc., blah blah blah, give me a shout. So, you know, do me a favour, hit subscribe if you haven't already. You know, hit the like button. You know, just tell me that you're enjoying the content. Give me questions, give me grief, whatever, down below. And I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.